Michigan Kingpins is brought to you by the Metro Detroit USBC Association, your bowling resource. Lawrence Technological University, possible is everything. Frankenmuth Brewery and Restaurant, 150 years of tradition. Sandy Hansel and Associates, bowling is our business. Brunswick, the bowling leader. Trotside Restaurant, Northville Downs' exciting dining experience. And Turbo Bowling Accessories, driven to bowl. Now, get ready for Michigan Kingpins, Metro Detroit's all-access bowling show. Here's your host, Mark Martin.
Hello and welcome to the only show on television dedicated to celebrating the great sport of bowling in Metro Detroit, Michigan Kingpins. I also want to welcome you to our first broadcast in crystal clear high definition. Also our first broadcast on CW50 Detroit. This is Michigan Kingpins, and I'm your host, Mark Martin. Although the temperatures outside have been unforgiving all winter long, the action on the lanes has been heating up as another season will soon draw to a close. We're coming to you today from Inside Vision Lanes in Westland. Later in the show, we'll be talking with former professional bowler Lisa Bishop of LB's Precision Ball Motion for the first of our Kingpin segments on the cutting edge. As a bowling enthusiast myself, I always want to know about the latest technologies and trends in bowling. Now, athletics are back on the campus of Lawrence Tech University in a huge way. It was the bowling team who recently earned the first piece of major hardware in the modern era at LTU. That story's coming up. We'll also celebrate the high school youth movement in a sport a little later in the program. But first, we pride ourselves to getting out to some of the best MD USBC events. Mark Rottenberg has the highlights.
We are halfway through the Metro Detroit USBC RIP 10 Entertainment Women's Series Cup season. And after 3 events, we've had 3 different winners and 3 different runner-ups. This race is so tight, in fact, that right now, between the standings, we've only have 7 points between the top 4 competitors. In first place is Robin Orlikowski. Second is Sandra Schultz. Third is Lisa Bishop. And in 4th place is Julie Ochepik. This is the 4th event of the Women's Series, and after qualifying in 2 rounds of match play, the final 4 bowlers were Michelle Ewald taking on Lisa Bishop and Tanisha Burris versus Julie Ochepik. Burris started slow with 2 splits in the first 3 frames, while Ochepik was consistent and had a 44-pin lead after 4 frames. But then Burris got back in the match with 5 strikes in a row, while Ochepik failed to spare in the 7th. This made it close down the stretch, but it was Ochepik advancing to the finals with a score of 236. Hall of Fame bowler Michelle Ewald had to play an extra match to get this far, and strikes were hard to come by, while Lisa Bishop was cruising and had a 10-pin lead after 5 frames. Ewald was able to close the gap, and it was dead even after 8 frames, and it came down to the last frame and the last ball. Ewald needed a strike, but she couldn't convert, giving Bishop a 3-pin win and a trip to her 2nd finals of the year. The Bishop-Ochepik match pitted 2 of the Women's Series' fiercest competitors. Both bowlers started slow, each with just spares after 2 frames. It would be a back-and-forth match, as neither bowler could string any strikes together, but it was Ochepik winning by 5 pins after 6 frames. Bishop would then turkey and take the lead, which meant Ochepik would have to have a good 10th frame to stay in the game. But she left 4 pins and didn't spare. Bishop just had to mark, and she got it. She won the match and the event with a score of 229. Julie, another great tournament. Came down all the way to the wire. Why don't you tell me what happened in that 10th frame?
In the 10th frame, I just leaked the ball right just a hair, and it hung and ended up with the washout, and I was unable to convert it.
Lisa, what a great finish to the end of the tournament. You had to convert in the 10th frame, and you did it. How does it feel today?
It feels wonderful. It was a questionable day at start for me today. I wasn't really bowling really well. My legs weren't underneath me. But I had to bowl some really good bowlers today, starting with Sandy first, Michelle Ewald, and then Julio Chepik. And those are 3 very good bowlers in Detroit, well, in Michigan, I should say. So I knew I had to bring my A game and try to strike.
Well, we talked about it last event, that you were getting stronger and stronger and you were making it to the finals. You made it to the finals last event, and we talked about you winning this event and you converted. Has to feel great.
It feels wonderful. I just want to be able to compete and have my name in there in competition. I just want to compete for a few more years, and hopefully I'll be able to do that.
Well, you're always a great competitor, and we look forward to seeing you always at this series, and congratulations on again for a great day.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Classic Lanes in Rochester Hills was the host for the 2014 Metro Detroit USBC Senior Masters for bowlers 50 and older. This is the 22nd Senior Masters with 151 competitors vying for the title. Classic Lanes has always supported the Metro Detroit USBC events and was perfect for this 3-day event.
Okay, I'm here with Chris Murray, the Public Relations Director for Classic Lanes and also for Airway Lanes. Well, Chris, tell me a few things that Classic has got going on in the near future.
Well, we've got a variety of fundraisers coming up, specifically bowling for backpacks for the Avondale School District on March 9th. We have Kids Bowl Free starting, I believe, about April 10th. We have a bowling networking at Airway Lanes in late March, March 26th, so that'll be an opportunity for business people to connect in a little different way. And Bowling 2.0 will also be starting at Airway.
Well, congratulations to your company for introducing people to our sport. We really appreciate that.
Current back-to-back champion Harry Sullins was looking to three-peat and came out of the winner's bracket. The final 2 competitors out of the loser's bracket were Mike Calvin from Warren and Glenn Ludeman from Chesterfield. Mike Calvin was the #1 qualifier and lost to Harry Sullins earlier in the tournament and was looking to get another match with Sullins. But Glenn Ludeman also lost to Sullins and wanted to get to the finals. This was the farthest Glenn has ever gone in the Senior Masters. Glenn bowled well in the first game to keep it close, but Calvin was on a roll and won 483 to 409. This set up the rematch between the reigning champion Sullins and Calvin for the title. This was Calvin's first final, and he was happy to be there. He kept pace early, but Sullins bowled consistent and was up 63 pins after the first game. It proved to be too much to overcome in the second, and former PBA bowler Harry Sullins took home the hardware and won his 3rd Senior Masters in a row.
Another great finish to the Metro Detroit USBC Senior Masters here at Classic Lanes. And with me right now is the runner-up, Mike Calvin. Mike, you bowled really well today, and that 10-pin just got to you, didn't it?
Yeah, especially in the last match. Maybe a couple firm shots, cost me a couple 10-pins. Otherwise, I bowled well.
Yeah, you bowled very well. I mean, you dug a big hole after that first game, but you kept fighting back in the second game.
Yeah, I was playing inside. My previous 2 matches, I was playing in, and I had success. We had a short practice. I finally moved to the right of the 6th frame in the first game, and from there, I bowled well, but Harry had a 60-pin lead after the first game, so I still made it close.
Yep, you did. You came back. You finished really strong, and obviously too little, too late, but still great. You got knocked to the losers bracket last Sunday by Harry, and so this was a chance for retribution, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was looking forward to it. Once I saw the matchup that I was going to be able to bowl him in the last match, I was definitely excited because I definitely wanted to beat him.
Well, I'm here with the winner of the Metro Detroit USBC Senior Masters, 3 years running now, Harry Sullins. Harry, great performance today, great performance in the entire tournament. I noticed in qualifying, obviously you didn't have to qualify, you didn't have to bowl well, you didn't score real well in qualifying. How do you account for that?
Well, I watched some of the guys in the first squad coming in. I was in B squad and thought I had the correct angle of attack, and I guess I was trying to play too straight. And by the time I finished my qualifying squad, I said, even though I was seated, which was beautiful, I missed the cut. I kind of refurbished, how am I going to play this tomorrow? And then I had to decide I better bring different bowling balls and play a different line of attack. Otherwise, I'm in deep trouble. But hey, it worked out. Undefeated another year, 3 years in a row. And hey, we'll see you next year at Airway. And I can't wait.
Well, here we are. This is it. Our last premier event in the association for the season, the Metro Detroit USBC Senior Masters here at Classic Lanes.
Taylor Lanes is the site of the 2014 Metro Detroit USBC Masters Tournament. This is the 51st year for this event, which is held over 2 weekends. The top 31 bowlers from the first weekend of qualifiers and last year's champion made up the field of 32. The format for this tournament is 3-game combined score and double elimination. The only undefeated bowler was Hall of Famer Ken Wyatt. He would wait to meet the winner of the loser bracket, which featured Ronnie Sparks Jr. and Randy Warnken. Ronnie Sparks had to bowl 9 games already to get to this point, but it seemed like he was only getting stronger. Warnken started slow and could not find his groove. He bowled a 180 and a 201 the first 2 games, while Spark bowled 2 games of 234. Ronnie closed out the match with a 264 game and beat Randy by 184 pins, 732 to 548. This Masters final featured the Hall of Famer Ken Wyatt, who never won this tournament, and Michigan's most successful young bowler, Ronnie Sparks. And it would be Sparks that would win the first game 234 to 213. He showed no signs of fatigue and won the second game, bowling a perfect game through 7 frames. Wyatt won the third game, but Sparks won the match, keeping his championship run alive and requiring another 3 games. Wyatt started strong by throwing a perfect game through 5 frames and was cruising until the 9th and 10th frame. Ronnie responded with 6 strikes and won the first game by 40 pins. Game 2 was more of the same. Sparks threw 8 strikes in a row and won with a score of 268. Wyatt was 71 pins down going into the third game of the match and would need some help from Sparks. But Ronnie only helped himself out by bowling a 258, winning the third game and taking home the title. Ronnie, this is getting to be a familiar scene with you being here on Michigan Kingpins, and now we can say you're the 2014 USBC Masters champion. How does it feel?
It sounds the same as last time we talked, man. It's just a blessing. Like, it's really unreal. Like, it's been a while for a tournament for me to almost really get tearful, and this has been one of them, and it's just awesome. So I'm tired and speechless. It's so much. It's just a good feeling.
Well, I think you had to bowl 18 games today, so, I mean, your arm has got to be tired, but you seem to get stronger and stronger with every single match. Why don't you just tell us how you're able to keep up that stamina?
Well, I just wanted to you bowl in so many great bowlers, and you don't even pay attention to how tired you are. You know what I mean? Like, you don't get a chance to think about it. As soon as you get done bowling, they're like, hey, bowlers, report to your pair. You got 2 minutes, of practice. So I just wanted to just stay aggressive and just treat each match the same, because I thought I was treating them all pretty important. So I just wanted to kind of do the same thing throughout the whole tournament.
Hey bowling fans, I'm Ashley Raymond, and trust me, you don't want to go anywhere. Lots more Kingpins still ahead. Mark Martin will be talking with former women's pro bowler and now Pro Shop owner Lisa Bishop from Vision Lanes. We want you to be up to date on all the latest and greatest stuff you can buy to improve your bowling game. And I've got a story about the recent success of the LTU bowling team. Michigan Kingpins will be right back.
We want you. We are LTU, Lawrence Technological University, and is one of the nation's best schools for engineering, architecture, and technology. We don't want just anybody. We want students who are curious and driven, students who want to change the world through technology, science, and design. So if you believe that possible is everything, we want you at LTU.
Owning and operating a bowling center is a unique business, and no one knows it like Sandy Hansel and Associates. We have been buying, selling, and valuing bowling centers for over 30 years. We have sold over 500 centers and valued more than 1,200 centers throughout the United States and Canada. We often assist the purchaser in securing financing, obtaining your liquor license transfers, and avoiding potential pitfalls unique to this business. Trust your next bowling center transaction to Sandy Hansel and Associates, bowling's only full-service brokers, appraisers, and financial advisors. You can find us at sandyhansel.com.
300 isn't just a number, it is our destination. Shouting at a ball will make it strike more. Nothing is as satisfying as hurling dangerously heavy spheres at stationary objects and watching X's fill the frames. You know it, we know it. So here's to the ballers, the lane dwellers, the alley cats. A new breed is rising from the lanes. We are DV8. Tonight we bowl.
Are you into bowling? Then you need to check out TurboTech. Located in Chesterfield, Michigan, just 30 miles northeast of Detroit, TurboTech is a USBC regional training facility that has something to offer bowlers of all skill levels. We also offer coaching certification courses and much, much more. So if you're looking for success, there's only one place to go: TurboTech.
Welcome back to Michigan Kingpins. Today we're coming to you from Vision Lanes in Westland. We all know that this is the bowling capital of the world, so naturally we want to stay on top of the latest trends and technologies. Kingpins is on the cutting edge with Lisa Bishop of LB's Precision Pro Shop. Welcome, Lisa.
Hi Mark, how are you today?
I'm good. So tell me about your pro shop here. You have everything, don't you?
I have bowling balls, bowling shoes, slide soles, shoe covers for this nice weather that we're having in Michigan. We have bowling shoes, and basically when you go into a pro shop, you need to get a bowling ball and bowling shoes to bowl with, right? So different types of bowling shoes are available. We have the recreational shoe.
There's no numbers on the back of those.
Yeah, these ones don't have the numbers, so they're going to fit you and they're not going to smell like the other persons that just had them on before you. You should go out and get your own bowling shoe. You're going to have slide soles on both with a recreational shoe, and then on a performance shoe, you're going to have a push-off sole and a slide sole. So it's very important to know which shoe you're going, or which foot you're going to finish on when you're bowling.
So it depends really, most of the time, whether you're right-handed or left-handed.
Exactly.
For the most part.
Exactly, yes.
Okay, so if you're right-handed, you're going to slide with your left foot, and if you're left-handed, you're going to slide with your right foot.
That's what we hope for.
That's what we hope for, unless you're wrong foot Louie, right?
Right, and we accommodate for that too also. We just sell you a left-handed shoe if you're sliding on the wrong foot.
All right, so now I got my shoes on, and I want to knock the pins down.
Yep.
What have you got for us there?
A bowling ball. That's the most important part of the bowling.
I mean, I can't just pick one up off the rack and
You can, but it's not going to fit you as well as a pro shop. It's going to fit you.
Ah, okay.
It's going to fit you much better. It's not going to hurt your hand. You won't get tired when you're bowling. You got two different options in fitting. When you go into a pro shop, you should be fit first and foremost.
Okay.
A good grip is the most important thing. Okay. Conventional or fingertip.
Okay. So conventional is for
novice bowler, your
somebody
beginner
just
bowler.
Starting out?
Yes, and your senior players sometimes have to go with conventional.
Okay.
Because they're losing a little bit of strength in their hands.
Okay. And a fingertip for a little more advanced, or somebody wants to hook the ball a little bit, things like that?
Yes, that's all about the depth. So in both fits, you want your thumb to go all the way in. That's something very important in my opinion.
Okay. So have you got an example of a conventional fit?
Yes, a conventional would be something like this one here. Your fingers are going to go into the second joint, and your thumb's going to go all the way in.
Okay. All right, that one looks a little bit big on your hand. You'd probably drop that one, wouldn't you?
Yes, I would drop this one. This one's way too big for me. Yep, I don't throw conventional, so I don't have one that fits me for conventional.
That's right. So how about a fingertip?
Fingertip. Here's my ball, and I put my fingers into the first crease, and I drop my thumb in all the way.
Okay. Well, Lisa, thanks for having us this month. Next month, we're going to get into the technologies of the ball. You can tell us all about the insides.
All right, thank you for stopping by.
Now let's turn our attention to college bowling. In its only third year as a program, the Lawrence Tech Blue Devils team are making a name for themselves. Ashley Raymond has that story.
1, 2, 3, Blue Devils!
3 years ago, the Lawrence Tech University Athletics Department brought back men's bowling. Little did they know, in 2014, their new team would be nationally ranked and in the top 35 in the country.
We're 32nd in the nation. You have to be in the top 80 to be invited to the invitationals, and we definitely did that.
Coming into their third season, the Blue Devils had 19 players, most of whom had played with each other previously and already developed an inevitable team chemistry.
Like, we're all friends. I mean, we've been friends, through high school. A lot of the bowlers that actually joined the team this year are transfers, and we have bowled together, I think, since I can remember, actually.
They're roommates, most of them, you know. So it's been good. They talk to each other. They communicate on the lanes, off the lanes. So I think we had pretty good chemistry.
In the recent WAC Conference Championship Tournament, the Blue Devils finished their season in a first-place tie, which means they earned the bragging rights to this bad boy. The coolest part of this trophy is that it's the first varsity trophy any Lawrence Tech athletics team has received in over 50 years.
It's absolutely insane. It actually gives me the chills. You even saying that gave me the chills. It's nice to actually, you know, put LTU on the map. It's fun. I love it here.
Everyone on campus is trying to be the first team to do it, and us being the first team, it's just exhilarating.
You know, for this team, honestly, it's going to be the first of many to come for these guys. This is a very good team, an all-young team, so first-year eligibility for most of them.
But pushing forward to the NAIA championship wasn't easy. Only the top 80 in the country advance, and each rank has an immediate effect on the competition.
Okay, there's 5 different sites. It's like a regional for the nation. They put 20 teams for the men's and 16 teams for the women. They will not put any more than 4 of the top 16 of either one in any one spot. So then only the top 4 out of those regionals move on to the finals.
But this team is confident they've got the competition down pat on the hardwood.
I think we're going to nationals.
I think with our confidence high, I think we got pretty good chances, but we got to keep our head in the game and keep us focused on the goal.
Best of luck to the Blue Devils as they head to the NAIA National Championship. For Michigan Kingpins, I'm Ashley Raymond. Congratulations to the Blue Devils. Who knows? Maybe some of the young Keglers you'll meet after the break will someday roll for LTU. Mark Rottenberg was at the first ever junior varsity high school championships, and you'll get a behind-the-scenes look at last month's PBA event at Thunderbolt Lanes. Michigan Kingpins will be right back.
We want you. We are Lawrence Technological University, and we don't want just anybody. We want students who are curious and driven, students with a passion for hard work and good times, students who will move right in and shoot for the best that Lawrence Tech Southfield campus has to offer. So if you believe that everything is possible and that possible is everything, we want you at LTU.
Come to Frankenmuth's Little Bavaria to enjoy the old world atmosphere, shopping on Main Street, and the food at the Frankenmuth Brewery and Restaurant. This historic destination is located at the north end of Main Street at the top of the hill. The brewery is known for its classic American fare with banquet facilities available. It's the only restaurant in Frankenmuth that has outdoor dining overlooking the scenic Cass River. Frankenmuth Brewery produces award-winning craft beers, ales, and root beers which can be found in your favorite restaurants and stores. Continue the family tradition and come to the Frankenmuth Brewery.
It's bowling season, and the best bowling experience is at Sunnybrook Lanes in Sterling Heights. Enjoy our 58-lane bowling center that includes our sports lounge, video arcade, and plenty of leagues and tournaments for the whole family. Sunnybrook also has a 27-hole golf course, banquet facilities, and full-service motel. Sunnybrook has something for everybody. Check us out at sunnybrookgolfandbowl.com for weekly specials and learn why Sunnybrook is your ultimate family entertainment destination.
If your birthday is near, Thunderbolt Lanes is the place to party. Check out Thunderbolt's Cosmic Bowling with cool light effects and great music. Bowl with your friends, have fun, and when you're done, check out Thunderbolt's new arcade. Games are free at your birthday party. That's right, play as much as you want. And with pizza and soft drinks, we have everything to make your party a smash. Check out Cosmic Bowling and arcades at Thunderbolt Lanes for your next birthday party. Call 313-928-4688 for more info.
Even when you're out and about, you're never far from home. The new Xfinity Home Control lets you shut off your lights, adjust your thermostat, and even make sure the repairman got in, all while you're on the go. Simplify your life with the total home control solution. And you can save up to 10% on your annual energy costs. Add Xfinity Home Control for as low as $9.95 a month with no term contract to sign. And we'll get you started today with an easy-to-use equipment pack starting at just $99.95. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
The PBA made a stop in Michigan in January, and they were hosted by Michigan's largest bowling center, Thunderbolt Lanes. Detroit fans came out in force to be a part of the Barbasol PBA Tournament of Champions covered live by ESPN. Michigan Kingpins was behind the scenes to see the lights, cameras, and excitement. The local crowd was rooting for Saginaw Valley University alum and Windsor native Dan McClellan. Dan made the cut of 5 and beat Pete Weber in the first round and ended up finishing 4th. Detroit is still the bowling capital of the world and will always come out and support the PBA whenever it comes to town. Reporting for Michigan Kingpins, this is Mark Rottenberg.
Always great to check out the action when the pros are in town at Thunderbowl. Did you know there are well over 50,000 high schoolers across the country competing in their state associations in bowling? For years, it has been one of the fastest growing sports in both boys and girls competition. Stop by your local center any Saturday during the winter, see exactly what I mean. Mark Rottenberg has a perfect example for you.
The terrible Michigan winter continues, but we're nice and warm here in Sterling Heights at Sunnybrook Lanes, the host for one of the most unique high school sporting events in the state, the Junior Varsity Bowling Championships. I'm here with Tom Stockton, who was part of the group of coaches that decided to develop this event 14 years ago. Tom, why did you decide to create a tournament for JV athletes?
Well, you know, a group of us were looking, how can we make our young people better? You know, we have the varsity format, which we've always had. So the kids were saying, gee, our season's over. What can we do? So a bunch of us got together and formed a junior varsity championship to give them some opportunities to know what it's like to compete at a higher level.
What is the format of this two-day event?
Our format today is we're bowling, this is a team event, we're bowling 10 Baker games to qualify. That's 5 sets for our boys and our girls. And our format today will be our top 16 boys teams, top 8 girls teams advance to a 2 Baker game elimination format.
It is the only JV championships in any sport in Michigan. JV teams from across the state participate to decide who is the best boys and girls single champion and team champion. This event attracts over 90 teams, 470 single bowlers, with over 1,200 spectators over 2 days. Sunnybrook Lanes hosts the MHSAA Division I championships every year and is one of the only bowling centers big enough to hold this JV event. Last year's champions were the boys and girls from Sterling Heights Stevenson in Division I, and Anchor Bay for the boys and Flint Kersley for the girls in Division II. Regardless of who wins this year, it is clear that the amount of JV bowlers is only growing, which is good for high school bowling across Michigan. Mark, back to you.
Now that's all the time we have for this month's edition of Michigan Kingpins, your source for the best bowling coverage in and around Metro Detroit. Now Comcast subscribers can catch rebroadcasts of Kingpins on Channel 900. Log on to ComcastNetworkTV.com for days and showtimes. Now we're delighted to have a new network partner in CW50 Detroit and bringing it to you in high definition. A brand new episode of Kingpins will debut on March 15th. We'll make sure to get all the details and what to expect at the MDUSBC.com website. Now from inside Vision Lanes in Westland, and for Mark Rottenberg and Ashley Raymond, I'm Mark Martin. We'll see you next time on Michigan Kingpins.
Michigan Kingpins is brought to you by the Metro Detroit USBC Association, your bowling resource. Lawrence Technological University, possible is everything. Frankenmuth Brewery and Restaurant, 150 years of tradition. Sandy Hansel and Associates, bowling is our business. Brunswick, the bowling leader. Trotside Restaurant, Northfield Downs' exciting dining experience. And Turbo Bowling Accessories, driven to bowl.